Do I want to just perpetually go back into the same cycle of sadness, of loneliness, or do I want to start sitting back into the driver's seat, deciding where I'm going? Because the universe already knows your desires. It just needs you to tune into the broadcast signal and the frequency that aligns you with it. Welcome back, my Billion Dollar Baby. Today we're going to dive into healing your heart so you can be aligned with love. It's really interesting because I looked on the internet and I've searched a lot to try to find someone that believes and looks at the world like I do, where you know that you are creating your own reality and you know that how you think and how you feel is so important to what you're going to experience. And I was trying to find someone that talks about heartbreak in the way that I want to talk about today, and it was really hard to find. And whether you're going through a breakup or you've not found the person you love, this episode is for you if you really want to start creating love in your life and be more aligned with things that you can fall in love with. I want to get into this because, as you know, if you've been listening to me for a while, when I dive into different episode topics, it's also things I'm going through and I'm learning. And I recently have been going through heartbreak, and with that, I've learned that it's so interesting how when you go through this, it's really, you have these spiraling thoughts. You have this worry, like, how long am I going to be here? Will I ever find someone I love like that? Will I ever find someone again? How long is this going to last for years? Is this going to last for months? Like, when could I just get through this? Oh, I feel lonely. Oh, I feel grief. Oh, I feel lost. Like, you have all these different mixed emotions and you judge yourself for them, or you limit yourself by telling yourself, "Oh, I'm just going to be this way now." Like, we don't know fully like what heartbreak is going to look like for each breakup we go through. It's going to look different every time. And maybe you're someone that's been lonely for a while and you have feelings of loneliness, and there's that void, that space where you don't yet have someone, but you also really want someone. You haven't aligned with the reality of having someone. There's so much that goes into love. And what's interesting with me is for so long I put love on the back burner. But love is the most important thing we can ever experience. And I really realized that when you fall in love, there just isn't a better feeling. You feel like you jumped into an alternate reality where you're living in a Disney movie and you're now this like Disney princess and everything is rainbows and butterflies because I'm in love and life is exciting and life is fulfilling. And you have this whole feeling, and then you get addicted to that feeling, and now you chase that feeling and you want that feeling, and when that feeling's gone, it feels so utterly upsetting and your heart is broken and you can't imagine living without it anymore. And you wonder why we're so worried of heartbreak, and it's because the life that we live after it and the complete obvious difference that you feel afterwards is so clear that we then chase for the next excitement, the next love, and we don't want to live this life without that. And so we constantly strive to figure out, where is it going to come? When is it going to come? Who is it going to be? And we obsess, we go through these spiraling thoughts, we spiral about it. But what is so crazy about it all is the way that you actually get it is when you don't need it anymore. And isn't the universe so funny? Like, let's just slap our leg and start laughing. Ha ha ha, so funny, universe. So you're saying to me that I get to have love when I no longer need it anymore? What kind of sick game is this that you're playing with me? What kind of sick game is this? And if you're like me, you started to potentially get frustrated with how long you've been single, if you've been single, or frustrated with the fact that it didn't work out and the person that you were with wasn't the person you were going to end up with because it didn't work out. And now it was just a lesson. It was no longer the person that you're going to end up with. And that's the scary part of it all, is you can meet someone and you don't know, is this the one I'm going to be with forever? Or is this a lesson? I don't know, but I have feelings. And then we worry and we spiral, and there's all this tension. And what I just want to call this is tension. So much built up energy. And when we go back to what we know, and if you've been listening to this podcast for a while, you know that I'm so big on energy because that's something that has been scientifically proven. We are all made up of energy. So we now know that this built up tension and all this energy we're putting into this world, into these thoughts, into these spiraling thoughts that can be resistance and negative. And when we are spiraling down these thoughts, we are adding more energy to that life. And when you add more energy to that life of limiting beliefs and negative spiraling patterns, what happens from there? I love this. My cat just came up to me if you're listening on audio, and I got in a breakup and I literally just had this cat fall into my life at the perfect timing. So he is my literal son and the love of my life now. I love you so much. And it's just interesting because you hear things of like, okay, if you're in this heartbreak and you're in this gap, I feel like this little guy came into my life in the perfect timing to give me love, to help me feel love every day. And when I look at this cat, I feel so much love. I love this boy. He's like literally, I'm obsessed. It's sick. But if you don't have something you can love right now while you're going through this loneliness, while you're going through this isolation where you don't have your partner, or you're healing from a previous partner, or you still love the person that you dated, I don't even care if it was a year ago. I want you to first put your hand over your heart and tell yourself it's okay. Give yourself permission for that to be okay. Because we all know that love and loss and grief is going to look different for everyone. And the time it takes to heal from one relationship is going to be different time, and it's going to look completely different to heal from a next relationship. And isn't the way that we view it and judge it so much is going to be how it unfolds? Like if we're putting so much pressure on how long it's going to take, so much pressure on how it's going to look, and say a previous breakup took you a year to get over, now you're looking at your next one and be like, oh, here I go again. I'm going to have to go through breakup. We saw how hard it was last time. And that's what I did to myself. Like, I don't know about you, but I'm someone that like, it's hard for me to get into a relationship. I don't just date. I isolate for a while before I ever decide to be in a relationship, and they have to have a lot of things that I'm looking for in order to even take that leap for me, because I don't like to settle. When I love so deeply when I finally love. And I think I also keep myself very protectant because I know how much I love. And so I have a hard time letting go. And I realize that a lot of this all is what is our belief on what it's going to look like. And I also have been studying quantum physics, which sounds so scientific and it sounds so like hard to understand. But really, if you break it down, that in these teachings, which I've been very big on Joe Dispenza and listening to Joe Dispenza's meditations and book. And if you haven't read that and you're in a place of heartbreak, I please suggest you get the book, Becoming Supernatural. It is a life changer. It just helps you remember you are not a victim to your circumstances. You are able to step into the driver's seat whenever you want. You don't have to sit here in the passenger seat of life forever and feel like life is happening to you and that this world is unfair and that you should have met this person by now. You should already be with the love of your life. Comparing the fact that your friends are with their relationships and you might be the one that's single and you've been wanting it for so long. It's been 3 years. It's been 4 years that I've been wanting a relationship and I haven't gotten it yet. And isn't it funny that all of that tension that we're building up in this want is what is literally repelling it from us? And that's what you learn in this quantum physics and Joe Dispenza's teachings, is that everything you're building up, whatever you're feeding with your energetic field, is what you're going to keep living in a loop in your reality. You're feeding that timeline loop. So the quantum field is just an energetic field. And when you go into meditation, and I've been meditating now for like 46 days, and I've been doing it for 45 minutes every day. I know it sounds crazy. I couldn't imagine myself doing it before, but like right when I wake up, I just force myself to do it. And if I want to get in my way and be like, oh, 45 minutes, I'll just say to myself, 45 minutes for you to feel good today. I'm so sorry, Tara. I'm so sorry that you have to take 45 minutes to feel good today. I'm so sorry. That's all you have to do. And then I'm like, okay, it's not a big deal. So I go into the meditation and I sit with myself and I go into the nothingness and I choose the energetic field in the quantum field that I want to align with, because at any moment, we need to understand that if we want to step back into the driver's seat and we know that we want to attract love into our lives, then sitting in a place of nothingness and getting yourself out of this 3D reality, which is just a pattern of the past. It's an old energetic field that you've been repeating in a time loop of being heartbroken, of feeling lonely. If you want to change this reality, then you need to go into the nothingness. You need to meditate. You need to clear your field, your energetic field, and you need to quiet your mind, and you need to be in the present moment, and you need to remember that there is no such thing as time, space, anything. You're just energy, and you're just perceiving this reality based off the frequency you're tuned to. So what frequency do you want to tune to today? And you just get in this pattern of repeating it every single day, every single morning. Getting into the frequency of love is what I'm doing. So every day I wake up and I get into the frequency of love. What does it feel like to be loved? What does it feel like to be safe in love? What is that feeling? I feel held. I feel safe. I feel protected. I feel clarity. I feel clear. I know where I'm headed with this person. I know what this looks like. It feeds my soul. I feel in awe with life. I have this not crazy up and downs excitements, but this steady calmness in my chest. And so I imagine that feeling, and I'm in my meditation and I come out of it and I try to align myself with that frequency as much as I can throughout the day. And that's really the work. And the more I've been digging into this too, there's some teachings about how you could be visualizing, you could be doing affirmations, you could be journaling on the things you want. But if every time you come back into your reality and you view a circumstance out of expecting rejection or expecting to be lonely or judging a circumstance on, see, this is why it sucks that I'm single, whatever those immediate reactions, you observe a situation from the past that you're doing in your regular life, you're going to keep feeding that frequency of the life you don't want. So then our real job is to stop ourselves in those moments. Okay, I'm going down a spiraling thought, and that's a big one, labeling it. I'm going down a spiraling thought right now. I'm going down a spiraling thought that I've been single for X amount of time. It feels like it's going slowly. I've been, saying I want a partner, and I've been putting myself out there, and I've been doing all the right steps, and I don't have this person, and I'm going down these negative spots, and you can just label it. I'm going down a spiraling thought. That's the first step. That is so powerful. That's such a huge step. You should be proud of yourself when you label those steps, because that is the biggest step, is noticing it, because we're on autopilot. We're literally on autopilot, thinking the same thoughts that we thought yesterday and repeating the same future. So anytime you could stop and be present, and that's why meditation is so powerful. Stopping, meditating, putting yourself in the present moment. The reason meditation is so powerful is because it helps you watch your thoughts more consistently throughout the day so that you can hear your thoughts more clearly and slow down your mind when it's chattering. You get more in control of your thoughts and where you're going to allow them to head and what energy you're going to feed and what you're not. And so when you label it, oh, I'm going down a spiraling thought, you can stop and you could realign and be like, okay, I'm going down a spiraling thought. I'm going to stop for a second and I'm going to allow myself to just breathe. Because is that thought something I want to keep feeding? No, I don't want to keep feeding that I'm lonely. No, I don't want to keep feeding that I'm unhappy and that I'm missing something. I don't want to feed that anymore. And so if you could stop in those moments and ask yourself, is that the reality I want to feed? And you can say, no, I want to change that. Okay, well, you're already beginning to. And then it's consistently doing that and showing up differently and changing the frequency. And the more you could do it, it's just like they say it's like a teeter-totter. It's like you're teeter-tottering, and if you could just fill one side of the teeter a little bit more than the previous side tilted, you're going to then energetically shift into a new timeline. It's as easy as that. You just keep feeding the energy as much as you can throughout the day of the timeline you want. And at some point, the timeline will shift because you fed more energy to the future life that you're wanting to align with than the past version of you that you no longer want to align with. So every time you have these spiraling thoughts, put your hand over your heart. They also say put a hand over your belly and just breathe. Your heart and belly are your energy centers, so you just calm yourself. Breathe into it. I'm having negative spiraling thoughts again. Here I go. It's okay. It's okay. I love you. Come back to yourself. I love you. It's okay. This is just me fearing that I'm going to be alone, but I know I'm not going to be alone. I know that if I have this thought of wanting to be in love and have a partner that I grow old with on a rocking chair, I know that if that thought is put in my mind, it's because I'm meant to have it. I know that. And my only job is to remember that and to trust that and to have faith with that is the reality I'm aligning with. And all I need to do is every time I want to spiral, I need to stop, get back into the present moment, and tune back into the frequency I want to align with. That is my only job. So whether that's journaling your affirmations, visualizing, and constantly keep feeding the energy you want to align with, but the most important part is to stop yourself in the middle of the day or as you go on with your day, anytime you spiral or anytime you notice you're feeding energy to the previous reality you no longer want to align with, and to instead come back to the present moment and feed the reality you do want to align with. That is our job. That is our job. It's crazy because I am doing this now. This is currently what I am doing. I went through this heartbreak. I now sometimes spiral. Not sometimes, a lot of times actually, I'll be honest with you, I've been spiraling. And it's because I wasn't in a relationship for so long. And so this one was tough for me to go back into this again and to be single again. And I'm like, I've been here already. For a long time. And if anything, when I was previously single before this relationship, it was much easier for me. But for some reason, having that love come back into my life and then losing it again and coming back into being single again, it felt stronger. And so I'm like, shoot, I thought I was good with this spot. And and I can allow myself to go down those negative spirals. And to be honest with you, I did for quite some time. And over these last few months, I've allowed that. And I started to realize, what am I feeding? Do I want to just perpetually go back into the same cycle of sadness, of loneliness? Or do I want to start sitting back into the driver's seat, deciding where I'm going, remembering that I am not a victim to my circumstances, and trusting that the universe knows exactly what I want and exactly what is going to fulfill me and exactly how I'm going to be whole long term. And all my job is to do is continue to tune to the frequency, because the universe already knows your desires. It doesn't need you to create your desires. It just needs you to tune into the broadcast signal and the frequency that aligns you with it. That's it. Because what's so beautiful about the universe is it has these twists and turns and synchronicities, and it will bring you that thing in the most unique or profound or different way than you ever thought it would happen. It's so odd how it all unfolded, but it just came. And it's because we can't try to control and create exactly what we want. We have to put that vision in our mind, put that energy towards the love and the life we want by feeling into it and getting our soul familiar with what it feels like. But then we also need to let it go and just consistently tune into the frequency of, we already know we're going to have it. And there's a balance with this, because I'm not telling you to be positive every single second of the day. That's impossible. You can't just be like, I'm going to be so happy all the time. I know I'm going to live with the love of my life. What's easier is to just get back into your center and give yourself grace. Give yourself love in those moments where you spiral and you go into negative. Stop, pause, and go into grace with yourself. And sometimes it's just about turning down the volume of that negative spiral. Just turning it down, because you're doing enough of clearing the energy by stepping into this new reality, by not spiraling, by focusing on other things, by focusing on your passions, by focusing on community is a big one. Hanging out with new friends, meeting new friends, bringing in your current friends, and just doing things that fulfill your life, and try to focus on those things. And you're giving enough space so that anytime the negative comes in, you just turn down the volume. You just get back into the present moment. I'm not telling you need to be so happy all the time. I'm just telling you to stop feeding energy to the previous life that you no longer want to have. And so I was listening to this video, and it was talking about how if you want to step into the frequency of something you've been wanting, think about that thing you've been wanting so badly. You've been wanting it so badly, and think about the tension and the stress and the need and control that you felt around wanting that thing. Think about how much you've held on to it so tightly. Because we think if we hold on, then it's going to happen, but really it's doing the opposite. We're literally holding on so tightly of this need. We're not going to survive without it, but that is the opposite of aligning with it, because you need it still. So you're never going to have it. It's only when you have it that you have it, right? So you have to get back into the frequency of, I already have this thing. I already am energetically aligned with it. So I need to release it. I have to trust that I've already put out the signal of what I want. And now my job is to trust. And so go into this space of knowing this thing you've been wanting so badly. Feel what it feels like. Feel all the energy that you've built up around this thing, how important you've made this in your life. You've put it on a pedestal. It's beyond you. It's beyond your frequency. Think about how much energy you filled up into needing this thing, and think about it. And now put your hand over your chest and your hand over your stomach. Take a deep breath. Allow yourself to release it. Thank you for being here. Thank you for showing me something I wanted. I know I've wanted you, but I'm going to allow myself to let you go. Not because I don't want you, but because I don't need you. I trust that if you are meant for me, you are going to be aligned with me. And I trust that my job is just to be in the moment, in gratitude, in the knowing that things are working out for me. Even though I can't exactly see how they're going to work out for me, I know my job is to trust and know that they are working out for me. And if you're really in a good place and you feel like you've released, you can also do this trick where you've imagined yourself on the other side. Imagine yourself on the other side. You already have this thing. You're on the other side of it. It's already yours. It's not a big deal. You already have it. It's already yours. There's nothing left you have to do. There's nothing left that you have to be. It's already yours. And now watch yourself from the other side of having this. You're calm in your nervous system. All your struggle dissipates. All your need dissipates. And you're just calm in the knowing that it is already yours. And then that allows you to trust that this already is my timeline. I already am syncing with this future. And there's nothing left I need to be, do, or have in order to align with this. I just need to know that that is my energetic timeline, and it's this knowing that it is mine. What's so interesting about this, that the more I've been looking into this stuff and understanding it, it just gave me like a aha moment, because I remember when I was younger, I used to always go to my older sister for dating advice and be like, what do I do with this? She was always really good at it, because I didn't really focus on dating as much as she was like really into it. And I just wasn't as into it. So anytime I did date someone, I'm like, what do I do? And so I remember she would tell me when a guy didn't text her back, she would just change the way she looked at it. She's like, yeah, I'll just be like, oh, he had to work a long hours, or something happened with work where he couldn't be on his phone. And she'd just say something that she knew she could get herself to believe about him, that could have happened. Oh, that's the reason. She'd just make it up. And she would always come to me after and be like, you know what? He ended up texting me, and that was what happened. He really couldn't text because something with his boss happened. And she's like, it's so interesting. I'll just get myself to believe something better, and then it actually is true. And what's interesting about that is the more I was learning about how important it is for us as the observer of our lives to not only meditate and visualize and put the energy of what we want out in the world, but also to observe our life as it's already happening. It's already unfolding. I don't need to change anything. My life is perfect as it is. If you can talk yourself into believing that it is working. Oh, it is working. Oh, this is proof it is working. Or just switch the way you look at something. That is the most important thing. Because yes, it's important to visualize and know what you want, but it's more important to start viewing your world as things are already unfolding for me. And that's why they always talk about how Delulu is the Salulu, but it's really just because if you could almost like add your own beliefs to a situation and be like, you know what? Oh, it is unfolding for me. Oh, that guy just looked at me and smiled at me. My frequency is glowing. I am more magnetic. I am aligning with a dream partner. People are starting to notice me. That person called me pretty today. I feel pretty today. I feel pretty today. That's a sign that I'm energetically aligning with more love in my life. Like whatever it is, you just need to start feeding the belief because you're that powerful. You are. That's how powerful you are. That's how powerful you are. That you're controlling this all. The narrative, the script, the reality. It's all you. You're writer, director, producer. You're every part. You're the actor. And so when you know how powerful you are, let's just play. Let's just dance with the fact that we have this movie and it's this movie that we call our life. And when we can let go of the struggle and we go back into the ease and just know it's going to unfold, that is our only job. So I hope this episode resonated with you. As you know, I come back every week. I am learning along my journey with you, and there's nothing that connects me more than hearing what parts resonated with you the most, what things you want me to go into next week. When you like and subscribe and you share this video with someone who could really feel this message, it means so much to me. As my community grows, it helps me put more and more time into this so that I can be here with you. And so I would appreciate it if you subscribe, you like, and you comment, and please share it with someone that could hear this message and really be helped by this message. I love you so much. You can find me on all social media platforms, Tara Electra, and the podcast name is Billion Dollar Babie. I'll see you next week.